Hello vinyl community, welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the most recent UHQR release by Analogue Productions, The Doors LA Woman. Really excited to get this. I was really excited when I found out that it was a 33 RPM vinyl record, UHQR. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the 45 RPM UHQRs. I'm getting all of the Steely Dan UHQRs that they're releasing. It's so excited for that to come out. Katie Lied by Steely Dan, I think towards the end of September. Way excited for that. But when they announced this, my initial impressions was, oh my gosh, I've got the 45 RPM version of all of the Doors albums that Analogue Productions has done. Now am I going to have to be getting a UHQR of the Doors albums? But when I found out that it was 33 RPM, I had to bite on it. I had to take it because that 33 RPM appealed to me. Ultimately and preferably, I prefer 33 RPM LPs. The 45 RPM should sound better. I get all the reasonings for that. I understand the technology. I understand the why of why they are better and why that we use them. In particular on Mobile Fidelity uses them on most of their one-steps. Analogue Productions, of course, doing the Atlantic 75. They're all 45 RPM remastered albums, which, and I get it. I understand why we're doing that. But really, for this album, I was really stoked and am stoked because it's 33 RPM. And I really do like the Doors albums. LA Woman, probably one of my most favorite Doors album, along with the first, well, you know what, Morrison Hotel. There's a bunch of them that are just great. This is one of the best, I think, to me anyway, really one of the best Doors albums. But today I want to review this album with you, and I'm also going to compare it to my 2012 45 RPM version of the album, and we'll see how they compare. But let's first go ahead and get started, and let's do a quick review, and let's look and see what we get for $125 in the Doors LA Woman UHQR. I really do like this new box that they are utilizing for the 33 RPM version of the Doors UHQR LA Woman. I really like how it opens up. I think this is really neat. Let me just kind of show you as I open the box here and show you what we got inside. I keep the wrappers, the original wrappers. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do. And let's go ahead and see what we have inside the box. Of course, we have the usual leaflets that we get. This indicates that they're doing 4,500 of this album, The Doors LA Woman, UHQR, signed by Chad Kassem. Talks a little bit about it, letters of authenticity and so forth, which I think is just, fantastic. Next thing in the box is a technical specifications manual, and we're pretty much accustomed to these, the technology that they use in their mastering of these UHQRs. I think it's really a neat thing. Of course, I think their quality control is absolutely fantastic. They use what they call, right here in the bottom, they use Clarity Vinyl, which I think is absolutely one of the quietest vinyls on the planet. I know I'm kind of talk about that a lot when I do my reviews. Of course, we get this, and they throw this in most all of their Analogue Productions albums that they do. It's a little flyer, leaflet, kind of advertisement, if you will, on some of the albums that they're currently working on and are doing there at Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds. This booklet, I think, is really cool. The Doors LA Woman got some just incredible photos inside here. I think this is such a nice touch during the original recording sessions that took place back in 1971. Fantastic. I just think that is great. And I tell you what was really cool is a die cut album cover that let me just kind of first show you what's on the back side of this album, which is really kind of neat. This is on the back side of the original album. But I really think that what they did by doing this die cut album, I think is just fantastic. Very much just depicts the original. Excellent workmanship. If you can see the 3D imagery there, I think this is fantastic. Much better than the 45 RPM 2012 release. I think this is absolutely just fantastic. Let's quickly take a look at the vinyl. And boy, I tell you what, Analogue Productions just does an incredible job of packaging and protecting the vinyl. Of course, it's in their quality pressing sleeves, and then another plastic cover over the top of that. Of course, here's the Clarity vinyl, 33 RPM. This album was mastered by Bernie Grundman. The 45 RPM was mastered by Doug Sachs back in 2012. So we'll get to the comparison here in just a minute. But really, the quality control measures that goes on at Analogue Productions is just second to none. I think they're just doing an absolute wonderful job in it. But here's the back side of the box set. I just think this thin cover of the UHQR that they've started doing with these, I love it. I think it's better. I like the slip cases from the former, what they've been doing with the other UHQRs. And I'm assuming that they'll probably continue with that, especially with series such as the Steely Dan series. I'm sure Katie Lied will be very similar to that book type slipcase box set that they have, which is quality for sure. But I prefer this. I think this is great. I hope there's further UHQRs, in particular in 33 RPM, that are very similar to this. I think this is a fantastic box set with everything that they include in it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So that's what you're getting for your $125, which is, I think, fantastic. Much better than the 45 RPM, and I'll show you that here in just a second when we get to the comparison. But let's go ahead, like I always do with my reviews. I kind of give you a rundown of the tracks and how they sounded to me through my system and on my ears. Let's go ahead and talk about the sound quality of this UHQR of the Doors' LA Woman. The sound quality on this UHQR is very, very good. Starting on side 1, first song on the album, The Changeling. Absolutely fantastic song. Clarity is excellent on this. All instruments and Jim voice sound just absolutely wonderful. Organ is so very present on this. Drums sound great as well. Great guitar sounds are clean with not being over bright. Sometimes on albums, especially in this vintage, sometimes that upper end can be too bright. Not so here, it's done just perfectly. Second song on side 1, Love Her Madly. Classic song. And it sounds absolutely wonderful on the UHQR. Guitar is clean and extended, drums sound full body, good detail. Jim's voice is absolutely great on this cut. Great song. I mean, probably one of their biggest songs ever. Biggest hits, Love Her Madly. What a great song. Song 3 on side 1, Been Down So Long. Guitar sounds fantastic with exceptional clarity. Jim's voice, once again, is excellent. Song 4, Cars Hiss By My Window. Such a great, great song. Jim's voice on this song is absolutely wonderful. You know, he has a deep voice, and his voice is just so authoritative and so properly balanced with the other instruments. It's just great. The bass guitar on this cut is just really, really neat. It sounds phenomenal. It's so very well clean and defined and has proper weight to it. Number 5, LA Woman, such a great song. Another just really great song on the album. All instruments sound excellent and very well balanced. Jim's voice, once again, is spot on. Drums are absolutely excellent on this cut. Moving over to side 2, such a great song, L'America. That's the first song on side 2. L'America, it is just a fun song. Great, great sounding song, by the way. All instruments sound excellent and well balanced. Jim's voice, once again, is spot on. The drums sound very good, articulate, very, very nice. Song 2, Hyacinth House. Another great sounding track with Jim's voice being absolutely upfront, clean, and very well defined. Great sounding organ along with percussion and drums on this song sound fantastic. Third song on side 2, Crawling King Snake, another fun song. Great song with nice guitar work throughout. Very punchy drums on that cut. Number 4 song on side 2, The Wasp. One of the best songs on the album, at least in my opinion. I love it. It sounds great. Drums are clean and well defined with good weight to them. Organ, again, sounds just really, really good on this. Guitar on point, drums along with Jim's vocals are the star of the song. Absolutely wonderful. Last song on side 2, number 5, Riders on the Storm. And I tell you what, the clarity vinyl on this really adds to the enjoyment of it, because as you know, that entry into Riders on the Storm is the storm rolling in. It just starts soft and then builds, and then till you get to the keyboards. Oh my gosh, it's a great song, one of their best for sure. It just really sounds phenomenal on the clarity vinyl UHQR. The keyboards is just flat out stunning on it. The top end just sounds just great. Jim's voice is absolutely perfect. Guitar solos are excellent, drums well balanced, and vocals and instruments. Overall, this is a fantastic representation of really a 1971 incredibly great album. The Doors, LA Woman. It's just phenomenal. When you consider what's in the box for your $125 plus shipping, it's really a good deal. I do recommend this album. I think it sounds phenomenal. It's a 33 RPM, so the cohesiveness and the feel of the original album is maintained, at least in my opinion. I think it sounds absolutely great. Very, very good sound. Value for dollar is good. I wish it wasn't so much money, but then when you look at what you get and the quality of the box, you know, I would imagine they're asking a pretty fair price, really, for what you're getting. Well, let's go ahead and compare it to the 45 RPM release of the same album by Analogue Productions, mastered by Doug Sax in 2012. This is probably of the Analogue Productions 45 RPM series that Analogue Productions did of the Doors albums, and I've got them all. This is probably the best sounding one, at least in my opinion. I think the quality of the recording initially, at least from the master tapes of the Doors' LA Woman, is just strikingly. This has just been a fantastic album. Let me just kind of show you, and then I'll kind of point out some of the differences in the albums. Of course, it's a great Stoughton gatefold jacket. I think it's great. Of course, we don't have a die cut jacket like the UHQR. Here's the inside of the gatefold album cover. Very, very nice. Here's the back side, of course, listing the songs, the musicians, and then of course here Analogue Productions gives you a pretty good indication of who did the mastering and all of the other information pertaining to it. Of course, these are all 45 RPM vinyl records. Let's take a peek at one of them really quick. This is side 1. Like you see that without any glare. There's only 3 songs on it because it's 45 RPM. I think back in 2012 when they did these, I think it's a fantastic job. They did a really nice job. I think this is better. I think the UHQR, what you're getting in the box is a lot better, the packaging and so forth, but there's nothing wrong with this. This is really an excellent version of the album. $60, $125 plus shipping for either one. Now, they're both still currently available. This is limited to 4,500, so if it's something that you want, you kind of need to jump on it. Well, how does it compare, the 45 RPM, how does it compare to the new UHQR LA Woman version of it, which is at 33 RPM? And this really, to me, was quite a stunner. I just really wasn't prepared to hear what I heard. And so that's really why this comparison, for me, it's taken me an extra day or two to reevaluate, to listen. I've listened to these two albums now about 7 times each, so that I can kind of get a grip and be honest with what I'm hearing, and trying to make sure I've done it, I've done it at night, I've done it in the morning, I've done it 2 or 3 different days, just trying to understand if what I'm hearing is really what I'm hearing, and if I continue to hear it time after time after time. And I got to be honest with you. To me, and through my sound system, the 45 RPM sounds better. It just sounds better than the 33 RPM. Not by leaps and bounds, not by, oh my gosh, it's unbelievably better, but it is noticeably better. I mean, it's very noticeably better. First off, the 33 RPM, you really need to turn the volume up to match the sound level of the 45 RPM. You've got to get that volume turned up a little bit so that you can come as close as possible to the sound level of the 45 RPM. And once you've done that, then you can really tell and do critical listening, which is really what I've been doing for the past, say, 3 days with these two albums, is listening to them critically. And really what I can narrow this down to, the 45 RPM through my system and through my ears is more full-bodied, meaning top to bottom, it just sounds more full-bodied. And I've kind of got a little comparison. On the first cut, the changeling, the organ in the changeling on the 45 RPM, it is just fuller. It's more, it's just more open, more apparent, more full-bodied. And I hate to keep saying that, but I really don't know what other words I can come up with that would give you a better description and accurately describe what's going on. It just has a more full body. That equates down into the drums as well. The drums have a little bit more heft, a little bit more weight in the bottom end on the 45 RPM than on the 33. Now, that's through my system and through my ears. It is noticeable. It's a difference that I can't deny and that I didn't expect. Because honestly and truthfully, I'm a 33 RPM guy. I would prefer my audiophile records to mostly be 33 RPM. Please don't get me wrong. Chad Cassim, if you're listening, continue doing 33 RPM UHQRs. And really, audiophile represses, they're great. I love it. I think it's fantastic. But on this one, and in this situation, and through my system, and through my ears, after heavy evaluation and stringent listening, sometimes, last night I was up until about 12:30 in the morning, going back and forth listening to these two albums, and I just keep coming back to the fact that the 45 RPM, to me, just sounds better. Like I say, it's not a million miles different, it's not huge, but I tell you what, it is noticeable. It really is noticeable to me. And it's kind of interesting because when I got the 45 RPM version of Miles Davis kind of blue UHQR, I compared that to my 33 RPM version of Miles Davis kind of blue UHQR, and I did hear a difference in the sound of the 45 RPM, meaning I felt that it sounded better than the 33 RPM, but not by a huge margin. This one, I think, has a little bit more noticeable, at least to me and through my system, has a little bit more noticeable full-body textured to the album than does the 33. Not saying this is thin, not saying that this isn't very good at all. It's fantastic. It's excellent. If you're a 33 RPM guy and you don't mind spending the extra $65 to $70, you're getting a much better box set of the album for sure. But I can't deny the fact, and I gotta be honest with you, the 45 RPM version of Analogue Productions, The Doors, from 2012. It sounds better to me. It just does. Will I reach, which one will I reach for when I want to listen to the album? I guess time will tell. But right now, initially, I prefer the sound on the 45 RPM 2012 release of LA Woman, The Doors. Please tell me what you think. If you've got these, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me, am I up in the night? Am I listening to something that I shouldn't be? Is something different with my system? I don't know. But really, it was just striking and really a surprise. Please, Analogue Productions, chat out there, please keep doing 33 RPMs. I really do prefer them. I hope and pray that you'll continue to do the rest of the Doors catalog in UHQRs. Also, if I might just throw out a little bit of a request, if you will, please do a UHQR of the Led Zeppelin catalog. I would love that. That would be phenomenal. Thank you so much for watching. As indicated, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. It means so much to me. I appreciate corresponding back and forth through those comments. You guys are just fantastic. Let me know what you think. Until next time, have a great day.